You will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You
God bless. You will not have war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
what
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
A significant part of this of presidency is to restore democracy. This may seem like, well, are we in a democracy? Well, if you don't have a feedback loop,
we're going to feel very good. We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and it happens to be right about
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. Things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" That doesn't work that way.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, wherever you are listening from across the world. You are tuned into another live at the Mr. Freemason channel. Yes, I've changed the name slightly and changed the name to Freemo just to shorten things, just to make things a little bit less confusing, and so people don't have to spend so much time writing text. So I hope you're all doing very well. Today is Sunday, the 2nd of March, 2025, which gives us a 2-day. It's the only 2-day out of the month. And it also equals to number 14, which 1 and 4 gives us the number 5 of travel. So if you're new here at the channel, here we like to explore numerology, astrology. We like to apply it to news articles, crime, also relevant topics and articles that are going on in the news and present day around us. This also includes from various things such as attacks, with regards to also elections and certain other items and news. So today we will be covering and going back over a short bit of Stormzy, which we covered in the last live. We'll also be looking at Elon Musk, Keir Starmer, who met Donald Trump, and last of all, Zaelensky, who also met Donald Trump, which is making quite a lot of news and headlines across the internet at the moment. So we'll be taking a look at the numbers, we'll be breaking them down and deciphering them into numerology and what they actually mean. We will also be finding out why they are done on certain days and how they correlate and connect with regards to numerology and how the elites and people above use this as a calendar rather than the Gregorian calendar that everybody else uses. Towards the end of the show also, I would be deciphering some words with regards to numbers, just as an insight of how they communicate and how words are hidden within words, which will give you a clue and also an indication of certain people who are behind events, so to speak. So as always, we will do a roll call just before we start to get into the show properly. So like I said, we'll do a roll call. If you drop down in the chat section where everybody is listening from, and we will get on with the show shortly. So if you didn't catch the last live, we talked about Stormzy and the McDonald's advert that had come out, and we looked at the symbolism in it and also the numbers and what they represented. Now, if you haven't seen that, go back and go and check it out. It will cover a lot of the details. I will have to save me going over them again. But we will look at the symbolism. There's a couple of other things as well that I spotted afterwards. So I will put them back in this live before we progress any further. So in the last live, there was the advert of Stormzy from McDonald's. Now, I was actually under the impression it was 6 nuggets, but it wasn't. It was 9 nuggets that was in the advert. From what I can remember, the 9 nuggets reference was made 3 times. Now, this could be classed as an inverted 666 to begin with. Also, during the advert of McDonald's and Stormzy, there was shown a black and white checkered floorboard halfway through the advert. So these were just a couple of points that I'd missed in the last live and thought I'd cover, just to make sure everybody's up to speed and knows where we are. So I do apologise, I've not been on the scene very recently. I'll just give a big shout out to some of the regular subscribers and viewers that we have here at the channel. So there are people such as Exotic Doll, Pixie Lot, Zombieland Variants, aka Audio Oracle, Wonder Woman versus Hulk, and Wiz, I believe. I know Wiz was here earlier on, so I don't know if you're still here, but if you are, then big shout out to you. I'd also like to give a big shout out to my new and biggest fan, who goes by the name of Elite Music Publishing, also aka Sigma Music Publishing. They're actually probably quite well known, but not for their channel. It's more to do with their actions and conduct on YouTube, should we say. I found it quite hilarious that I was given a copyright strike for the same piece of music by two different companies who claimed that they owned the same piece of music, which was quite entertaining until we did a bit of background check on them and found out there's actually quite a lot of YouTube videos made on them with regards to fake copyright strikes. So big shout out to you. Thanks very much. I needed the time off. It's given me a chance to focus on the other project that I'm doing, which I've nearly completed. Unfortunately for that, I was hoping it was only going to take me 2 weeks, but 2 weeks is now rolled into 4. But thank you very much for the time off, and thanks for your view, because you obviously tune into the channel to watch, so thanks for that. So anyway, moving on with the rest of the show. So we had the nine chicken nuggets reference in the Stormzy McDonald's advert. Also this year is 2025. 2 plus the 2 plus the 5 gives us 9 also. So there's the 9 chicken nuggets reference, and also 9 being this year. Number 9 is the number of beginning and endings. It's also the number of completions and cycles. If you notice as well, and look out your window this evening, especially in the UK, you will be able to see an eclipse of the moon that is going on this evening, which I found quite strange, because normally an eclipse is when one object covers another, such as the sun is covered in an eclipse. So what's covering the moon? So there's a couple of other things just to think about as well, just to give you something to think about as we go on through the show, of how we actually live in a digital matrix surrounded by key codes and numbers. So an example for you is everything that we've needed on the planet has always been here from day one, from the air to the water to the seeds to the food to sunlight to moonlight to everything that we've needed. So everything goes around in a cycle, which is why number 9 is so important. You'll find in 9 years that you'll come to completions of certain behaviours or activities, and will also start new ones. This also goes for the world with regards to countries and wars, and you'll find that Israel do want to have a ceasefire with Gaza, for the sole fact that Gaza was found in a snake year, and this year is the year of the snake. So that is why Israel are quite aware of numerology and know that they don't stand a chance with that. That also kind of coincides with regards to what's going on with Donald Trump, Keir Starmer and Zaelensky and Ukraine. But we'll go into a bit more detail further on that in the show. So we'll turn our attention to Elon Musk. Elon Musk, we know, is born on the 28th. 28 is the number of business, wealth and success. The top 3 richest men in the world are born on the 28th, Bill Gates being one of them as well. There was news that Elon Musk's child was born. This news came out a couple of weeks ago, but it was believed that the child was actually born 5 months previous, and this was his 13th child. Now here at the Mr. Freemason channel, we cover numerology and decipher what these numbers mean. So normally at the beginning of every show, I will run down what the numbers are. Most people who tune into the show and regular viewers will know what these numbers are. These numbers are 3, 6, 9, 11, 13, 19, 22, 23, and last of all 33. These are the prime numbers that you will find in news articles, events, world events, crime. Number 3 is the one that comes up quite prevalent in crime articles. The reason for that is the third letter of the alphabet is C, and criminal starts with C. So Elon Musk's child was born. There was also another announcement of Elon Musk's 14th child, and he was born on the 28th, the same day as Elon Musk. So these people understand numerology. You've got Vladimir Putin, who's classed as the richest man in the world. It's not actually Elon Musk. Vladimir Putin knows about numerology as well, which is why his first daughter was born on the 28th, and he got married to his first wife on the 28th. So although President Putin isn't born on the 28th day, the number 28 is very significant with regards to his family, dates of birth, and marriage. So we will move on to Keir Starmer and Donald Trump's meeting. So with that, we'll get into the video. So also today, we had President Zelensky met Keir Starmer in the UK. Today's the second. The second is about duality, balance, agreement. It's also surrounding feminine energy. There's only one number 2 energy in the month. The 20th is actually broken down into 2 single ones, making it an 11 day rather than a 2. So Keir Starmer met with Donald Trump on the 27th of February. Getting a bit behind myself here. We met him on the 27th of February. 2 and 7 equals 9 again. The number 9, beginning and endings, and also completion. Keir Starmer is actually born on the 2nd of September, 1962. He's born under a tiger energy. And it's important to note that Keir Starmer is born under tiger energy, because that will become relevant as I go on with regards to the animal signs of Donald Trump and also Zelensky. So Keir Starmer was born under tiger energy. Donald Trump, we know, is his enemy year last year, which is why the attempted assassination happened on Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is born under a dog year, and the dog is the enemy sign of the dragon, which was last year. It's quite strange that Donald Trump and Nigel Farage actually get on quite well, because Nigel Farage is actually born under a dragon year. So Donald Trump and Nigel Farage are actually opposite signs. But there we go. So then we moved on to the 28th. And this is when President Zelensky met Donald Trump. And things didn't go down too well. Now, President Zelensky is born on January the 25th. The 2 and the 5 together actually makes the number 7 in numerology, which is the number of the genius. Which I don't know if I'd apply that to Zelensky, but each to their own. He's born in 1978, which is the year of the horse. Horses are known for having to be hard workers. That's why the word and the terminology workhorse comes from. Now, with regards to animal signs of the Vietnamese astrology, I've just gone over that Keir Starmer is born in a tiger year. Donald Trump is born in a dog year. And Zelensky is born in a horse year. Now, if you've got a copy of the book that I've got out at the minute, which is Breaking the Matrix, Numerology Astrology, which is available on Amazon at the moment, this goes into detail of triangulation of signs and how certain signs work very well with other signs. The only thing that I can kind of compare this sort of pattern is kind of very similar to the Mercedes badge, where it goes out a 3-point triangle. If you used to overlay this over the chart of the Vietnamese astrology chart and took your own energy year of your own animal, it would then point out 2 different directions across the chart, which would be your triangulation of your animal signs, who you work very well with. Everybody who has an animal sign has 2 other animal signs they work very well with. This year is the year of the snake. So people who are born under rooster energy, I believe it's also ox energy as well. Don't quote me on that bit. But I definitely know for a fact that snakes and roosters work very well. Now, talking of roosters, there was actually a member of parliament that faced court last week. I'm just trying to struggle to remember what day that was, but I've got a funny feeling it might have even been the 23rd. And that was Mike Amesbury, who is a MP in the UK, who went to court. It's only described really as beating the living daylights out of somebody. It was certainly no push or shove. So that would have been an ABH charge, which you would have been looking at anywhere up to 3 to 5 years, for that, depending on the severity of it. But you certainly wouldn't get a suspended sentence, that's for sure, depending on how full the cells are. But as we always know, if you're in the club, these people don't go to prison. You've only got to ask Hugh Edwards and Philip Schofield. And so, yeah, that kind of gives you an insight as to why certain things happen on certain days. With regards to him, the member of parliament who went to court, Mike Amesbury, he's born under rooster energy, and roosters are known for fighting. So that could explain Mike's behaviour and how he wasn't able to contain himself. And I'm sure he's no stranger to having a bit of a punch up every now and again, because that's what his trait is. So Zaelensky and Donald Trump met on the 28th. As I've discussed, the number 28 is the number of business, wealth and success, which is why Zaelensky and Donald Trump arranged to set this deal on the 28th, because it was about money, business and success. That is why Donald Trump made the point of giving so much money to the Ukrainians and Ukraine not being very thankful for it. So moving on with regards to a bit of spelling for you. So they like to hide words within words. And you have to be very careful what words you speak, which is why the English language is called spelling. And the English language is the only universal language that is across the world in every single country. No other language is. And I'm going to give you an insight into why the English language is so important and how the English language actually derived and derivated from numbers themselves. So what you would class as the days that you would go to work as, or 7 days, is classed as a week. It's called the week because as you work, you become weak, which is why towards the end of the week, you become weakened, just like the weekend. Other such words you need to be careful of are morning. People say first thing in the morning, good morning. Now, morning is associated with death and people passing, which is why you have to be very careful with the words you speak. This also comes from the terminology that people work at night time, which is why it's called the graveyard shift, because it's a proven scientific fact that people that work graveyard shifts lose their life and pass a lot sooner than those that don't. So if we turn our attention back to Ukraine, America, the UK, and even as far as Israel. Israel was actually created from the 3 gods, I believe from the Book of King Solomon. But it's okay. And there we go. No problem. Sorry about that. For some reason, StreamYard doesn't like numerology. But there we go. So anyway, going back to spelling. So you can't spell Ukraine without spelling UK. Israel is spelled using the three gods' names. Isis, as in I-S, Ra, and Il. Jerusalem, you can't spell Jerusalem without spelling USA. So that is why the Americans are backed. The Americans are behind and back Israel. And the UK government, such as Keir Starmer, are behind and back the Ukraine. So it just gives you an insight into how words within words actually give you a clue of who's running the show and the people behind it. Just turn my attention quickly to people in chat. We've got Scarlett from Essex. Welcome to you, Scarlett. Thanks for joining us this evening. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I know, yeah. Yeah, the piano clip. To be honest, if you're a subscriber to the other channel that I run as well, which I'll just give that a shout out as well, it's called Just Gone Viral. There's a video coming tomorrow with Zaelensky and his very varied career, should we say. Yeah, I don't think I've ever known anybody be on so many different TV shows, to be honest with you. And the drama series that he was on, as well as the talent shows, kind of leaves a lot to be desired, so to speak. But yeah, that was a little bit that I thought I'd put in the video for you, just a bit of a sneak peek, really. But there's plenty more where that came from. So I'm hopefully going to try and drop that video tomorrow for you. Yeah, he's definitely the kind of man you need in a crisis. Yeah, I just got that. The penny dropped after I read that. Thank you. I did read that kind of. I'm going to pop them up as well. So yeah, Zaelensky's very talented. He can play piano, he can play guitar. He's a dancer, singer. He's just an all-round entertainer, really, to be honest with you. I mean, he's done a terrific job for the past few years so far. That's for sure. The fact that he was in a TV series and played the role of a president who was the president of Ukraine, only to then become the president of Ukraine. Maybe we're all going about it the wrong way. Maybe we need to go and get ourselves in a TV show, and that's how you become president of a country. But there we go. And yes, he's definitely the man you need in a crisis. Definitely a crisis man. But yeah, it's just unbelievable. When you see the video, you'll probably be as shell shocked as what I am. I'm not one to be left speechless, to be honest with you, as you can probably tell. But even that left me stumped for words. But yeah, that should be a good video. But so is there any questions anybody would like to ask in the chat section with regards to some more numerology or anything else? Like I've spoke on certain words, like I've said, the week, weekend, morning, good morning, such things as a graveyard shift. There's plenty more. Another one is references that are made to people such as ourselves. So I'll break this down in quite easy terms, so to speak. Okay, so when King Charles, as he's now called, is referred to, or people within what's classed as the square mile of London. Now, some people might know about this. It's actually laid out by 4 concrete lions that sit on pillars holding shields. And this used to be the original square mile of London. The original city of UK is actually Colchester, which is Cal Londinium, which is where the word London came from. So London was never actually the original city. It was actually Colchester in Essex. So the square mile was set out by the lions with the shields. And on them shields is what people would think is the cross of St. George. It's actually not. It's the cross of the Knights Templar is what it is. And it goes back long time ago. I'm not even too sure if it's actually got anything to do with King George, St. George, sorry, so to speak. Because we're told in history about a lot of characters who play quite important roles in our history, from literature to history to events. I'll give you two of them examples. One is Charles Dickens, and the other one is William Shakespeare. Now, this might baffle you at first when I say this, but these two people never actually existed. They were fictional characters. It was actually somebody else that obviously wrote the novels. Scarlett, I think Scarlett, you should come on as a guest one day. You have to come on. If you'd like to come up and speak, you're more than welcome to come and join the live stream one day. If you're comfortable doing that, then let me know. I'll drop the link in the chat section. But yeah, please, people, feel free to come up and put your input into the live show. You're more than welcome, always. Like I say, it's not just myself here, it's a community. And the rest of you, the team, the people. So yeah, so there's been quite a bit going on with regards to the numbers. I'm sure there'll be plenty more to come this year. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Elon Musk. Obviously, he's born in the pig year. It's the enemy sign of the snake, which is this year as well. So yeah, that kind of wraps up quite a bit, which was been going on for the past few weeks. Any future dates to keep an eye out for? Obviously, the 11th, the 9th coming up. You have the 3rd tomorrow as well. And as I've spoke about, the number 3 and its relevance to crime. An example of the number 3 in crime, you had 3 people that carried Liam Payne up to the hotel. Liam Payne fell from the 3rd floor balcony. There's many other cases as well. The number 3 is always in there. Sometimes you'll get the number 3 on 2 occasions in the same paragraph, and this will be your number 33. There was also the news article that came out yesterday that I covered on the other channel with regards to the 2 sick individual couples and the dog. That woman was also 33. So this goes to show you it comes up time and time again. Exotic Doll says, Mr. Zaelensky is an Aquarius. Most intellectual sign of the zodiac. Well, he's born on the 25th, so 2 and 5 equals 7. Stephen Hawkins is born under number 7. 7th letter of the alphabet is G. G stands for genius. People who are born under 7 days, such as the 7th, 16th, the 25th, people of high intelligence. They're also lone wolves, so they like to work on their own, or they tend to work on their own. The sole fact being is intelligence kind of separates them away from the group. They're kind of people that only need a few breadcrumbs and they will figure the rest out for themselves. So yeah, you can kind of see how Zaelensky is a number 7. The fact that he seems to be on his own, and the fact that he made a point that he's been on his own, even when Donald Trump pointed out that he hadn't. Also, we know number 9, with regards to beginning and endings and cycles, the letter M is also linked to the number 9, as in manifestation, manipulation, money. So there's them words also come into the number 9. I spoke to 2 people whose life path numbers were number 9, and both their names were Matthew. So go figure that one out. So yeah, Zaelensky, you would think that Donald Trump and Keir Starmer could all kind of work in triangulation as their signs all match up perfectly, which I found absolutely baffling, to be honest with you, because I thought at least one of them might be out of sync, but no, all three of them match up in triangulation. That's right, you're more than welcome to come up anytime you like. I tell you what, we'll try and do something for the next live stream. If I can orchestrate and try and organise something, so obviously I can cover what topics have been going on with regards to numerology, if there's anything else that's happened, and then try and set aside a part of the show towards the end of it where you guys can come up and have a speak, or share your views and opinions, or anything else that you'd like to add. Because obviously you guys make the show just as much as I do, so if it wasn't for you people, there would be no show. So thanks very much. So on that note, you've been absolutely awesome as always. Thank you very much for all joining me. I had a few technical hiccups at the beginning. I have got some new cables that are being put in at the minute, which is probably not really helping things, to be honest. But once we're past that stage, we have direct access straight to our internet, which will be lovely. So on that note, thank you very much for everybody joining me. I have been Fremo. You have been awesome as always. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you in the next stream. I'm out of here.